Alright everybody, I've been telling y'all I keep forgetting to turn on the camera, and this is a prime example of it. I went out today on my Craigslist ad and picked up a couple of things. One of them was this little pressure washer here. I've already put fuel down the throat of the carburetor with my little juice bottle. And it runs pretty good. Apparently it's been out in the weather. The filter's kind of soaked with water. Guess I should show you. And this one here is kind of nasty. But I've got a regular filter. Come on, zoom in. That I'll probably just take and replace that one and clean that one up because it's not really in bad shape. Just needs to be cleaned, and then I'll use it on another one maybe. Or I've got this one that has the spark plug, the primer bulb, the gasket and diaphragm, and the filter. But since this one ran on its own, the primer bulb is, it's got a little weather check to it, but it still works. It was still shooting that vintage 76 gas in it. It was of a nice vintage, nice brown color. Kind of nasty, but we cleaned it out. I took it off, cleaned it out. There's enough videos on there about this. I just took this bolt out and then the 1/2-inch bolt here. Took the carburetor off, unhooked this linkage that goes right here. But there's enough videos on YouTube about that. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this filter. Like I said, I've already cleaned out the carburetor. The fuel tank. And I'm going to put this back together. I'm going to put a new air filter in it, see if we can get her to run. I know she will run, but we're going to see if this fixes the problem. If not, then I'll go changing the diaphragm if it don't run right. But it ran really good, so I'm hoping it'll continue to run good, but I'll bring y'all back and we'll see what it runs like. But anyway, before I do that, in this same pile that I went and got today, got a nice walk behind Craftsman mower, really clean looking mower. Don't know, he said it hadn't ran in a while. Picked up a leaf blower, it's a Ryobi. We'll see if we can get that going after we clean the carburetor on it. Got the Troy-Bilt weed eater. Weed eaters around here don't sell very good. You might get maybe $10, but you can have more than $10–20 in one. So that'll probably just end up being scrap because weed eaters, like I said, they just don't sell. And this late in the season, I probably won't be able to sell it anyway. But anyway, I got that and these 2 leaf blowers. This one's a Home Light backpacker, zip start. Anyway, I got that in with the free stuff. This was all from one guy, so I don't know what the deal was, didn't really ask, but he wanted to get rid of it, and so I drove up to Rogers, picked it up. So we're gonna see if this little pressure washer is gonna run. If it does, I got a guy that's wanting to trade me this for a trailer, and so we'll see if we can't get this going. Of course, the hose is pretty shot. This phone won't focus. Anyway, it's pretty well wore out, as you can see. So I do have the wand. It's up there. It's right there. So we'll see. I'll bring y'all back when I get a little more work done on it. Y'all have seen carburetor, or these things put on and taken off enough times. You don't need to know how to do that. If you do, there's another video. But anyway, I'll bring y'all back. Got you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. I brought y'all back. My daughter's filming. If you'll come over here and view down inside that carburetor. As you can see, it's pumping. Let's see if she'll run on her own. Okay, you can back. everybody. Looks like that fixed it. Anyway, sounds good. But that's how you do it, guys. Just clean the gas tank out, clean it completely out. A lot of this stuff I'm getting is because they don't, you know, like this, he didn't want to take the time to take that bolt off, and unhook that when you pull the tank off, to unhook that little deal from the thing there. And now I've got a good pressure washer. I'm gonna get a hose and see if it'll actually work. I think a brand new hose is like 28 bucks, so I'll have 28 bucks in not a brand new, but a really decent looking pressure washer. Anyway, and all it took was me to take this off, dump the gas that was in there out, put some fresh gas in, just a tad of fresh gas in. We'll swash it around, clean it all out real good, and then put fresh gas in. That's all I done, guys. And then we got her going, but a lot of people don't want to do that. I'm working on one now that y'all may have seen. It was the somebody else's junk mower. It's the Murray riding mower. Well, the reason it's as bad as it was, and he gave it to me, is because he didn't want to take the time taking the carburetor off, taking it apart, cleaning it, dunking it in an actual chemical tank, cleaning it, putting a new seat and everything back in it, putting it back on the mower. He did go out and buy a new seat. I seen that the seat's in really good shape, but the carburetor's toast. Luckily, I have another carburetor. But yeah, I'd seen he'd taken it apart and tried to clean it. But if he'd have chemical dumped it like I'm doing, he could save that carburetor. So anyway, I'm gonna get it out of my tank here in about another 45 minutes or so, and put it back together, blow it off, clean it up, put it back together, and put it on there, and then I'll have a riding lawnmower. I've already got it sold, so as soon as I get it put back together, that's gone. Anyway, I'll bring y'all back on some of this other stuff. Right now, at the end of the season, it's probably not going to be much to do, but I'm sure that little push mower is not going to take much either. It's a nice looking mower, so it'll probably be the same thing. I'll have to take it off, clean the tank, clean the carburetor. I mean, all this stuff had a nice vintage smell to it. He said they hadn't run in a few years, so if you can imagine what gas looks like after a few years. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys.